We are taking you to his show with Michael Holley, as we do every single day here on NBC Sports on Peacock. Brother from another's Michael Smith back here on the program. How you doing, Michael?
I'm good. What's going on with y'all?
Well, I don't know. What's on top of your mind today in the sports world? What hits you? Anything in particular? That I'll just throw it open to you first.
Rich, I'll pick it up where I think we left our conversation off
last week,
if memory serves.
Okay.
You and I went back and forth about how the Kyrie situation would play out.
Yep.
And whether you didn't think, if I recall, you didn't think he would ever get the vaccine, and this would come to a head. I was optimistic that peer pressure or the stakes getting higher would have him reverse course and meet the Nets halfway. They've already allowed him to be a role player, and he would come around and take the shot as he went through his process. But now, there's talk that if the Nets so choose,
they could pay a fine. Yeah, I saw that. The Daily News,
they could pay the fines.
Right.
And I'm trying to process what those optics would be like. I'm good with it, and I'm as pro-vax as they come. I'm vaccinated, boosted. I'll get a second booster shot if I can. I think Kyrie long ago should have gotten the shot, not just in order to play, but because this was best for society in general, in my opinion. But we don't have to unpack why he didn't, and it is what it is. But if the ordinance, the local ordinance, is as such where the fines are nominal, I would definitely play him and not worry about the optics. I don't think the optics of paying a fine so that Kyrie can play in New York is any worse than 20,000 unmasked people who may or may not be boosted, transmitting a variant of a virus that we know does not discriminate, even though the effects are obviously different. I'm not trying to give a science class here, but does not discriminate in terms of vaccinated or unvaccinated in terms of who can catch it. So the science has continued to evolve. There are plenty of NBA players who are not at the mercy of this ordinance. I don't think it would be a bad look for the Nets. I know some people do. Maybe you do. I don't think it would be a bad look for the Nets if it came down to it to just stomach the fine or swallow the fine.
And again, you're just kind of, Michael, proving my point, which is this whole story will be about not Kyrie's choice. It's New York's choice. Mm-hmm. It's not Kyrie's choice. It's not about the fact that he refuses to. And my 10-year-old yesterday said to me, Michael, why isn't Kyrie getting the shot? Mm-hmm. And my answer to him is,
and the children shall lead us.
No, what he said. He said, Dad, why won't Kyrie take the shot? And my answer to him was, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. He is not making. It's just been all sorts of complete either avoidance of the subject, refusal to talk about it.
With I don't know if Kyrie really knows.
Like, why? It's what he said, Dad. Why won't he take the shot? And I said, I do not know. And that, again, it's like, why aren't there articles about that? The New York Daily News, I saw that article yesterday. Was it Stefan Bondi or
Yeah, Stefan Bondi.
Yep.
Okay, and so he wrote, and he wrote in the paragraph a full paragraph about how it would be a bad look, and the mandate is the way it is in New York City, and he should take the shot and all that, but there shouldn't be a but. Like, that's what the mandate is. There are no, hold on a second. There are some issues with the mandate. I totally understand. Like, it's just like, so anybody unvaccinated from another team can come in and play, but he can't. Anybody else who's in the building needs to test out. They can be there, but he can't. Those are the rules.
Okay,
and so under these rules.
But let's just stay there.
Okay.
Those are the rules.
Yeah, right.
And the fine for breaking those rules caps out at $5,000
per day, correct? Which is chump change for the Brooklyn Nets.
Exactly. So if you want to make it really prohibitive for Joe Tsai, then make it $5 million. But since it's $5,000, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but then what about then what happens with the rest of the businesses in New York that are willing to do that sort of thing for their employees, like say Fox News? Right? I mean, let's just jump into it here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if other businesses in New York say, you know what? We've got a few employees that are very, very important to us, and we would like to make some sort of a point as well. What's $5,000? That's it.
Honestly, that's their prerogative. Like if you're looking for the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving to set your agenda, then you got other problems as far as I'm concerned. No different than the idea of Kyrie being a role model at this point.
That's society.
Like if you're looking at Kyrie Irving for whether or not you should get the shot, if you are unvaccinated and you're holding out waiting to see if Kyrie gets it before you get it, then I got nothing for you. All I'm saying is I think there is a but at this point because it is what it is when it comes to Kyrie. And Kyrie is going to do what Kyrie is going to do. But if I'm the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving makes me more of a championship contender than I am, I seriously consider optics be damned. I seriously consider whether or not it's worth it given the fact that there are so many inconsistencies and contradictions as it relates to this issue. And, Rich, remember, you and I are on Team Vaccinated. We're on the same team here. But I'm just looking at it strictly from a business perspective when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. And I think there is a but. If Kyrie is not going to take the shot, the same unvaccinated Kyrie is playing other places. This is a specific issue to New York or specific to the Bay Area and the Golden State Warriors or specific to Toronto and the Raptors. Other NBA players around the country have exemptions. So the same guy that's unvaccinated that can't play in New York just went in Chicago and played last night. So it's not a perfect system all the way around. And, yes, Kyrie Irving should have gotten a shot, in my opinion, in your opinion, in a lot of people's opinion. But he doesn't care about that. That opinion isn't going to force him to take the shot. In the meantime, in between time, if I'm the Nets, I'm like, and I'm sure they knew this already. I'm actually shocked they haven't explored it already.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. I mean, honestly, look, this is the way everything's gone. That's why I said it's no longer going to be about Kyrie's decision. It's going to be about the mandate. That's what, and mandates in general, or this one in particular. That's what I said last week, and I think, Michael Smith here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about another.
Exasperated by this.
No. Let's talk about. I think some people might be exasperated by the virus talk and coming into their sports world. So in that respect, if you are, I don't know. Let's start with this one. If you're Rob Pelinka, you're thinking what right now about the Lakers? What are you thinking if you are the architect of this team or have had LeBron, assist in this process? What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking, thank God for LeBron. I mean, and where will we be without LeBron? And hopefully more people talk about LeBron, and hopefully more people are like Michael Smith and are watching the Lakers through the lens of a LeBron appreciation tour and not as a championship contender, even though that's blasphemous in Los Angeles, even though that's all that matters in Los Angeles is championship or bust. Hopefully more people are just enjoying the show that 37-year-old LeBron in year 19 is putting on as he plays center, because if not for LeBron, where would we be? Because there is nowhere to go and there's nowhere to turn and there's no realistic solution, because even in some alternate universe, some multiverse, that somebody would actually trade for Russell Westbrook and his cumbersome contract, the dude couldn't hit the broad side of a barn right now, and so he has less than zero trade value. There are no realistic options to, truly make over this team. It's probably, in all likelihood, fatally flawed, and maybe we could just sell ourselves and our fan base on the hope that not only will LeBron keep up this remarkable, practically unprecedented play for somebody of his experience level, but Anthony Davis will come back and avoid further fluke injury. And having two of the top 10 players in the NBA will make us a difficult out in the playoffs, and we can save face by maybe making it to the second round if we're lucky.
Yeah, I know. That's not the way the Lakers normally operate, though, right? Is come see the show. It's showtime, and come see the championship team. And you have to look at the West and say, now that Lillard's gotten his today is going to have surgery on his abdomen. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Last year, the Blazers were a playoff team. They're out now. And the Clippers last year were that playoff team that purposely lost, right? So they could avoid facing the Suns. I don't think they're going to have any such benefit this year, right? Like that might be your play-in game. Like your State Farm play-in game might be right there. The home pardon me, I almost said Staples. Crypto.com might be the home of your State Farm playing game this year.
Arena, crypto.com or Arena.
My bad, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The crypt.
It's okay, man. Call it Staples Center.
You know what I mean? Like that's not what, the Lakers are supposed to be doing. And there is, some opportunity. But then you look at Memphis, right? And you saw like Morant came in their building last night or a couple of nights ago, literally flew. Like he looked Morant when he blocked that ball the other night.
God.
He looked like some of those, acrobats that come in with trampolines during, timeouts.
Halftime entertainment.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Like that's the future, right?
I got Memphis on the same plane as Phoenix and Golden State right now. From what I've seen, what I saw without Morant, what I've seen with Morant, who they've beaten along the way. The old adage, especially in the NBA, is you got to go through it to get to it, and you got to experience, a taste of the playoffs and playoff disappointment. I mean, look, if you forced me, I'd still go with the Warriors based on their pedigree, based on their star power. Now they got Clay back.
Yeah, they do. By the way, the team that's got 30 dubs, the Dubs, right? They just got one of the greatest shooters in the history of the game back, and he looks pretty spry.
No, they're still the favorites, but I'm saying I put Memphis in the contender category.
Okay.
Memphis isn't just a upstart, spunky team. I think they're one of the 3 primary contenders in the Western Conference. And if you want to put Utah in that category, go ahead and put Utah in that category too. But Memphis is legit. So. I mean, the Lakers are definitely going to probably be in play-in territory. But having said all of that, that whole word salad, right?
Yes.
It's like, come playoff time, it's like, you really trying to deal with LeBron James and maybe Anthony Davis? And if Russell Westbrook could just take care of the ball and make a few more shots, there's enough about this team. Like, I can't stand roller coasters. I cannot stand them. Some people like roller coasters. I do not like roller coasters. But there's enough about this team to make you keep getting on this ride. They're intriguing just enough to be relevant, if not a factor, early in the Western Conference playoffs.
So
the Lakers, that is.
Malik Monk will keep their 7-seed hopes alive, while Melo gets healthy, and then the basketball version of Cocoon. Does that make Anthony Davis, Steve Guttenberg, in that whole thing? I'm trying to figure out. Or Brian Dennehy,
youngest.
I don't. You know what I mean?
Really good pull. That's a really good pull.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like. This is not Lakers conversation. It's just not. You didn't come see LeBron, and then the Warriors have zoomed by him again. I mean, that's the way it is right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no move. There's no move coming up in the next couple weeks. There's nothing there, for them.
I mean, maybe they trade THT. You tell me. Not that I could see. Not that makes sense for me. Not from my personal trade machine. No, I don't see anything there. Speaking of moves, I thought you'd be jumping on the table about Cam Reddish. You're a Knicks guy, right?
Oh no, I'm kind of
ish.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. What are we getting? We're putting Duke together in Madison Square Garden. Is that
There's only one piece missing.
Huh?
There's only one piece
Zion?
missing.
Yep. Let's get it all together. I don't know.
You're joking, though. You're joking. How much time have we spent over the years talking about the 1 and 2 picks from that draft, Zion and now Ja? Look at R.J. Barrett. Like that dude's on the come up.
Youngest Nick ever with back-to-back 30-point games.
I told you he's got to be the star of this team, not Randall. Him. Randall is, an outstanding, lightning in a bottle type, making the most finally of his career type stuff in New York City. We New Yorkers love that lunch pail type story, but Barrett's got to be the star of this team for them to start being put in the context of what you're putting Memphis in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he's got to do. So, all right. So we get Zion there. What are you going to do? Should we get Billis to call the games? I mean, is that what we do? I mean, Walt's still there, obviously. Clyde's still the man. I don't know what you do. How many more Dookies can we get?
It's a good move.
All right. Who's on your show today? Michael, what do you got for us?
Today is Thursday, so that means the homie Chris Sims is falling through, and Tom Haberstroh will come by to make us smarter on all things NBA.
Okay, very good. You and Michael Holley right after the show on NBC Sports on Peacock. Once again, greatly appreciate the time in the chat. You be well, sir.
My pleasure. And tell your 10-year-old son I said hi. He's much smarter than the rest of us.
That's what he said. Honestly, it's just one of those things, Michael, where he just throws you the curveball. He just looks at you and you're like, what's up? And, and he's like, Dad, why won't Kyrie take the shot? I'm like, great question. Great question. He's, you know what I said to him? I'm like, son, he's trying to give voice to the voiceless.
Did you really say that?
I did not.
I hope you picked up on the sarcasm.
I did not.
Okay.
Take care of yourself, Michael.
Y'all be good. Thanks, fellas.
See you,
Michael
Mike.
Smith.
See you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.